So it wasn't pretty, and I think I thought we had a great start, which was really good to see. I know that's been something that we've been trying to focus on, is just setting the tone earlier, starting games with our defense, letting that dictate to our offense. So that was really positive to see. I think defensively also across the game, we held them to 2 single-digit quarters, which is one of our goals, less than 10 offensive rebounds. So we did a lot of positive things there. They only scored 46 points. But, offensively, I just thought that we did not play like ourselves today for a lot of reasons. But, going 18 for 30 from the free throw line, we got there, which was great. We've got to convert those empty shots. And then, the other thing is just our confidence sort of wavered there once we were missing shots. So that's just something we got to respond to.
I know it's a long way to go in the season, but first 3-0 start, what does it mean to just kind of like have another thing, another box checked off of things that the team and program's accomplishing?
Yeah, I think that this team isn't really focused on that, Matt. It's great. Like, I actually knew that too. Like, I read it in Kyle's pregame notes, I think, and I'm really proud that we're like starting to knock off these records. But like, honestly, our team is so internally focused on what we need to do every day to keep improving that like it's just a byproduct of that. And we're gonna keep breaking records. Like, that's what this team is gonna do. Like, but I'm just more concerned with like how we show up tomorrow to be ready for Brown.
I think just like constantly thinking about what the coaches have been saying to me all week about like taking my open shots and coming to 2 feet in the paint, and then also just like my decision making. Yeah, it's a very simple game when you actually like listen to your coaches and do what you're like working on in your individuals. Yeah. That's all I can say. Well, I think like Coach G said, we kind of have to see every team the same, but we know that we should be winning these games, and it's kind of like having the attitude that it's like any team is like, we're going in the same way, so then we're going to actually win games like we should. Like, that game we should have won by a lot more, and I think everyone on our team knows that. But yeah, I think when we actually finally do that for a whole game, it'll be amazing.
Yeah, I mean, we are one of the best teams in our league, right? There's no doubt about that. Like, I think everybody knows that. We know that. It's something we're like, we've all come to grips with. So we got to start playing like that through 4 quarters. And I think like it's just, we're still trying to figure a lot of things out. Like, we have a lot of players that are playing that are younger and new. We've got returners, but like we're not quite experienced, but we are experienced. So it's just, every team in the league right now is trying to figure out their identity. And we have a really good idea of what ours could be. But we're just trying to work with the kinks so that we can be as consistent as possible from game to game.
Yeah, I think like Coach said, we've earned to have like a title on our back, which is good, but it's like you've got to keep working the whole time. Like basically everything that we've done to this point doesn't really matter. Like Coach said, they're not at our trainings, they're not watching like our culture and all that. So we've got to actually show them the team that we are when we are actually playing, because I think at the moment, like, we've shown a bit of Columbia basketball, but it's just been a little bit. So we need to actually show a full game of it.
Yeah, and I think too, like, I'm gonna earmuff Kitty for a second. Like, this team has no idea how good they could be. So like, it's so scary, like, what coaching this team, because I'm like, we can make a run like that, right? And then know that we're gonna win the game. They're like knowing they're gonna win the game, and then they just kind of like go on cruise control a little bit. Like, we could be so special, and we're going to be. It's just a matter of, I think, peaking at the right time, and I'm just glad we haven't done that. I think some really good teams, they peak too early in a season, and you look up and you're now in February and March, and everybody knows they know your number, they know what you're going to do. And our team is still developing right now, and that's, again, a scary part about our team is like we haven't even come close to how good we can be. Yeah, you just got to stay flexible as the season goes on. Like, this is a team that's like learning something every day. And then you throw like COVID and everything that we're all experiencing around the world. And it's just like, like, we had a game canceled, and it's like, all right, it got moved to Thursday, and now we have 2 more midweek games. Like, there's just going to be constant change. And that's something that this generation too has to get used to, is like, nothing is set in stone, right? Like, we just got to make sure that we're rolling with the punches and understanding that something could change very quickly. And that's like kind of like a metaphor for the game that we've been playing. It's like, as things change and people adjust, Cornell starts breaking off their plays. Great. We've got to make sure we adjust with it, and we're not too slow to process that. So I think that's one hurdle, Matt, for us to get through or get over, is making sure that like we process and adjust a little bit quicker.